which was to be woven through one, so a being could become transcendent and transfigured into the very likeness of the gods themselves. Shedao Shai walked to one of the pitted chamber walls and caressed a pearlescent orb embedded in it. Color drained from the wall, rendering it transparent. Behind the wall, arranged in a pyramidal hierarchy, lay relics of Domain Shai. Shedao Shai played a hand over the barrier between himself and the bones therein encased, pausing only at the open spot in the lower left corner. There he intended to enshrine the relics of Mangay Shai, his grandfather, a valiant warrior who had perished on a scouting mission to a world known to the infidels as Bimial. His sacrificial death resulting from attention to duty had brought great honor to Domain Shai, and had in very large part made it possible, no, vital, that Shedao be chosen to lead the invasion. Shedao had dispatched 2 of his kin to recover the relics, but they failed in their mission. Nira and Drane Shai had been slain by Jedi, the most perplexing of the infidels. "They claim kinship with life," Shedao thought to himself, "yet set themselves as above and outside life, using this mythical force to hide their wallowing in mechanistic blasphemy." The Yuuzhan Vong commander shook off a shiver, then turned away from the relics and crossed the chamber. He stroked a red bar, and triple-jointed appendages, 6 of them, unfolded from the wall. The upper 2 appendages exuded a leathery tentacle that encircled his wrists and snagged tight. The lower 4 similarly produced straps that trapped his ankles and thighs. He felt himself lifted by his wrists, with the lower arms resisting. Joints popped, and little explosions of pain shot down his arms, making his fingers tingle. His feet then left the floor. They came up above the height of his head, forcing him to crane his neck back so he could study the relics. Firmly settled in the embrace of pain, Shedao Shai began to struggle against his restraints. The creature that was the embrace of pain wrenched his limbs, so his shoulders turned one way and his pelvis another. Sheer torment raced through him, igniting every nerve fiber in his body. He could not begin to catalogue everything he felt. It came too much too quickly, overwhelming him with pain until all I am is pain. His true goal achieved, he let his lips peel back from jagged teeth and thought, "The infidels did everything they could to save themselves from this sort of pain. They divorced themselves from all reality. This is why they are an abomination that must be cleansed from this galaxy. We have come to give them the truth. Shriven in the crucible of pain, the fortunate will know salvation before they die. The others—" He paused as a hot jolt curved up his spine to burst in his skull. "The others will become as lifeless as the machines they embrace, and the gods will rejoice at the fulfillment of our destiny." The hiss-crack of lightsaber smashing against lightsaber drowned out the sharp intake of Luke Skywalker's breath. As Mara Jade Skywalker attacked and Corran Horn parried, Luke marveled at the complexity of the force flows around them. Mara and Corran, longtime friends, each sought to push the other to the limit, and relied on guile and skill and strength to do it. What made it even more remarkable was that neither of them was in full health. Mara had been battling a disease that sapped her strength and defied Luke's best efforts to help her. He knew things could have been worse. Of 100 people diagnosed with the ailment, only she had survived. Her strength in the Force has sustained her, and in combat she lets the Force race through her. Corran had only recently completed Bacta therapy for life-threatening wounds he'd earned in a fight with the Yuuzhan Vong on Bimial. While the injuries had healed, including the long-term effects of a biotoxin, getting his conditioning back and regaining his combat edge was not easy. Mara crashed her blade against Corran's, driving him back. He held his lightsaber in toward his belly, then rotated his hand. The weapon's internal assembly shifted, more than doubling the length of the lightsaber's blade and infusing it with a deep amethyst hue. Mara laughed sharply. The surprise of